Week 1 is in the books, and we're going to break it all down. So let's get fired up. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Please hit that like button while you're here and subscribe to the channel. The Jets have played their first game of the year, and it was very positive, in my opinion. There are a lot of good things to take away from this. Obviously, we did not win, we did not get the outcome. However, I think there are a lot of things to be encouraged about. I actually wrote down a few talking points for the show tonight. But as far as my talking points, number one, we're talking points. We didn't punt in the whole first half. Our first drive, we came away with points. Pittsburgh scored, and we came back and answered. For a change, this team looked prepared. They looked like they were ready to play. There was no sluggish start. There was none of that. Like, they came out right out of the gate, firing on all cylinders. They looked really good. The very first defensive snap of the game, Quinnen Williams put Rodgers on his ass. Defensive line looked really good. But I want to talk about the offense first. We scored 32 in this game. I mean, when Aaron Rodgers first got here, remember what we were saying? Oh, the defense only gives up 17 points a game. If we could just score 20 a game, we would win. We scored 32 points. Like, I mean, I don't know if I can remember the last time the Jets scored 32 points in a game. Like, the offense looked really good. Okay. Did Fields look like Peyton Manning back there? No, he didn't. But what he did do, he was very efficient. He used his legs when he had to, but they didn't overdo it with that. Like he wasn't only running. I think it was a very nice mixture of pass and run. And when he did pass, for the most part, he was pretty efficient. There were a couple balls that were a little bit late and a little bit behind guys, but for the most part, he did a really good job delivering the ball. Brees looked good. They ran the ball extremely well. And I think overall, if we had any questions about what kind of offense we were going to run, I think that Tanner Engstrom has done a really good job thus far. And granted, it's only one game, but thus far of getting guys involved, of calling a game that really played to Justin Fields' strengths. And I can kind of envision what they're talking about with him. I don't know that he's been in a situation this advantageous in either of his previous two stops. Having an offense that's specifically built around his strengths and what he does well, I think is going to be a big help for him in the long run. But I was very encouraged with what I saw from the offense. Again, it was only one game, but if Fields can play like that through the entirety of the season, like I think that we're going to be in good shape. The second thing I want to talk about is Jalen Ramsey. Yes, he's one of my Florida State guys, but that doesn't change the fact that he was getting a little bit over the top, especially that last hit of the game where he hit Garrett. You know, you can call it a cheap shot. Definitely a little bit late and uncalled for. However, yeah, I want to take the emotion out of it, and think about it for a minute. All of last year, we complained about Sauce Gardner and his tackling, and his willingness to come in and run support and really stick his nose in there and hit guys. If Sauce Gardner was sticking it to the Pittsburgh receivers the way that Ramsey was sticking it to Garrett, I think all of us would be saying something different. I bet all of us would be like, hell yeah, Sauce. That's what I'm talking about. But because it was their guy coming after our guy, none of us like it. But let's be honest for a minute. If that was Sauce Gardner acting that aggressive and just going after guys, we'd all be cheering. Okay. So I don't want to get too carried away and crazy with that. You know, obviously we don't like seeing guys take shots at our team, but in all fairness, if it was the other way around, we would have been applauding that. Offensive line. Olu and Membu both looked really, really good. And Joe Tippmann at guard looked incredible. Those guys all did a terrific job. Armand Membu going out there as a rookie and pancaking TJ Watt, absolute thing of beauty. An absolute thing of beauty. Uh, you know what? I loved seeing that. I love seeing the way that we were able to run the ball. All those people that wanted to trade Brees Hall, you know what? I hope that you have come to your senses. Okay, because Brees Hall looked like his old self. Brees Hall looked really good. You know what? That's what happens when you give your playmaker running back the ball more than 7 or 8 times in a friggin' game. Okay, the fact that he never had more than 10 carries in a game all of last year. Well, you see what happens when he does, right? Over 100 yards. Brees looked like his old self again. He looked really good. We were running the ball at will. And yeah, Steelers defense, my ass. We ran all over them all day long. We should have won that game. Uh, you know, Xavier Gibson in particular, but also Stevens and Adams, they cost us that game. Uh, our pass rush, and like I said, Big Q getting a sack on the very first defensive snap of the game. Will McDonald getting two. JJ didn't get any, but he helped cause pressure all day long. He was in the backfield all day long. I think JJ played a really good game, played 50 something snaps. Everybody said, oh, you know, he's coming off the injury, temper your expectations. You know what? I've got a temper. It ain't got nothing to do with my expectations. I knew damn well that Jermaine was going to be ready to roll once the season started, and he was. Um, yeah, man, like the balance between pass and run, everything was really good. Uh, you know, the offense was efficient. The defense played well for the most parts, except for the miscommunications in the secondary, which we can't be happening. You know, we can't have that continuing. You know, week after week. Um, at any rate, I think I owe everybody an apology. I had said this earlier when Aaron Glenn made his comments about Xavier Gibson and why he made the 53-man roster. Uh, He said it's because he's explosive. He's dynamite, he said. And at the time, I said, that's the thing about dynamite. If you're not careful, it'll blow up in your face. And it was just a funny line at the time, but sure as shit, it did blow up in our face. Xavier Gibson, that muff punt, it changed the whole complexion of that game. And let me tell you something, momentum is real. Momentum in a football game is real. And the momentum of that game changed when he dropped that damn punt and gave them the opportunity to score again so quickly. Uh, his ass needs to come off the field. Like the guy led the league last year in fumbles and muff punts. Like we've seen what there is to see from Xavier Gibson. I think it's time to move on. The experiment is over. That's it, man. Like I've had enough of him. And Stevens and Adams, I'm not quite ready to bench them yet, but I'll tell you what, both of those guys be on very, very short leashes as far as I'm concerned. And wow, look at this. I don't have the kind of viewers that Jake does, but Leany and Kim and Valerie, all the ladies of the Jets fan base showing up for me. Thank you so much, all of you. And since I don't have nearly as many followers, you are a lot more than 4% on my channel. You're probably closer to 30%. So thank you, all you guys for being here. Johnny Boy, Yeti, everybody that I'm seeing in the chat. Thank all of you for showing up. I definitely appreciate it. And now I'm gonna get ready to bring on a caller. But like I said, guys, I think that we have a lot to look forward to, man. A lot of positives that we can take away from this game, and I think there's some bright things for us in the future. And with that, let me bring on our first caller, Beast. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, Rocky, how you doing tonight? Everything good? Can you hear me there,
Good,
clear?
man. How you doing?
Oh, I've had better, but what I saw on that Sunday was bullshit. There was so much.
Yep, loud and clear, man.
The one thing that got me pissed off was Sherwood should have been 7 feet more over and could have nailed the one receiver and could have nailed his ass right onto the ground. It's like, dude, where the hell were half of these guys? They were either falling asleep or missing shots because I'm watching the shots and going, oh, come on. If I had a 6-year-old boy, my 6-year-old son could have caught that shit right on the freaking bullet. Come on, man. This is football, for crying out loud. What are you guys missing the point here for? You know, we didn't hire you to act like jackasses. We wanted you to at least, show us a goddamn thing or two. Do you have the video of that game? You have it?
I do, but I don't have like any clips that are edited ready to go. So
shit. Yeah, because the thing was, I mean, watching that Sherwood shot, I said Sherwood should have fucking nailed him right on the spot. Because what he should have did was he should have went 7 feet over and got one of the receivers and could have nailed him right there. Because when Rodgers saw him, I was like, oh, great. And then half of the defense falling asleep. It's like, hello, are you there? Huh? Think, McFly, think. This is a match of a lifetime to knock this bastard right on his ass. But we did get his ass 6 times. He got sacked 6 times. Okay, that's fine. But we didn't finish it. We should have finished the goddamn job. It's not hard. I mean, come on. We're going to be playing Buffalo next week. We should be punching these bastards right out. The first quarter, this is what I expect first quarter. Go for the knockout. First round, go for the knockout. Just get them. Don't do it right away. Just get the jabs in and then go for the TKO. That's what you're supposed to do. Finish the job, and then when second half comes up, kick their ass a little more, and then finish the job with the TKO. It's not hard. Go for the finish and knock them out cold. And then put them away. Fourth quarter comes up, knock them on their ass, and belt them one, and knock these bastards on their back. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's simple mathematical shit to do. And folks, this is not, this is a serious match. We need to win it now. And then after this game, we go to Tampa. And Tampa's not going to be no threat. They're not going to be no threat this year. You know why? We got them right where we want them. Same with Miami. Step up and get your act together. Now. Now is the time to step up. That means either shape up or ship out. Make the choice. The choice is yours. Do it now. Now. Do I make myself clear, Ricky?
Yep. And I would agree. That's the thing, is we have to finish. We have to finish. Absolutely, Beast. I'll agree with you 100% there. And I'll give some of the guys a little bit of a pass. It is a new scheme that they're learning. It was their first game together, so maybe there's a few bumps in the road, but hopefully those communication issues get ironed out. And the thing that bothered me was like the very first drive that they had. Metcalf catches the ball. Tony Adams is right there. He breaks down like he's about to make the tackle, and then he just hesitates and he sits there and lets DK make a move. He picks up the first down, and I'm like, why are you hesitating, man? What the fuck are you doing? Like, wrap the guy up, run through him, and you know, like
What?
that can't happen. And I was telling people they should give Tony Adams a chance at the beginning of the season, but after watching what I watched on Sunday, like his chances are over as far as
You
I'm
mean,
concerned. I see anything else like that, and Malachi Moore is going to be coming on the field
so which
right
means
away.
Tony Adams will be benched, signed and sealed out. Xavier Gipson, he looked like he shit the bed, and he didn't. You know why he shit the bed? He did not live up to his expectation. He is a bum. He doesn't have the balls. He's nothing but chicken shit. It's like, bro, you're supposed to hold on to the damn ball. What the hell were you doing? Were you posing for pictures? You idiot! Go, hey, don't worry about the fucking pictures. Worry about what happens on the field. Worry about your job up here. You don't want to be here, you can leave. It's English. We're just telling you. If you don't want to go, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. It's plain English. Whoa, bring Pickett up. Bring him up. Give the kid a chance. But Gipson, no. He's to be fired and released. Has to go. And you even saw it too.
I'll agree with you. Yeah, and dude, I appreciate you calling in, man, and I agree with you 100% there for sure. With Xavier Gipson, I think the problem with Xavier Gipson is under the Saleh regime, they made so many excuses for these guys, and they had so many chances that they could go out there, have a horrendous game like Gibson had, and fuck up. And they knew they weren't going to get benched. They knew it wasn't going to cost them their job. They literally knew that there were no consequences for their actions. And I think they've become accustomed to that. That's why I think Gibson plays the way that he does. Like, I don't think he has any fear of losing his job. I don't think he has any fear of being benched because he's gotten away with it for so long that now just, screwing up and not having any consequences has become second nature to him. And it's just part of who he is now. And for me, like, if I had to postulate, I would say that Xavier Gibson's time on special teams is coming to an end. And I think that if he's not careful, he may find himself on the practice squad or the street in very short order. Hep, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Ricky, what's up? You're right on point with all those things. The big culprits are, Gibson and the two safeties. I mean, the safety and what's the other corner? Adams and the other guy, Stevens.
Steven.
Yeah, those are the
Steven.
Yeah, those are the three culprits right there. I mean, Glenn did have a little mistake with the points, the timeouts and stuff, but nothing traumatic and nothing that I would hang him for that. I mean, it is his first game coaching after all, so I'll cut him a little slack on that. I thought the team came very prepared to play. They came right out of the gate. It wasn't this nonsense of like, okay, it's the first and second quarter. The Jets haven't even gotten on the bus yet, and then maybe they'll show up in the third and fourth quarter. It wasn't none of that crap. We had 5 years of that nonsense. So these guys came out ready to play.
Yes.
The other thing, yeah. Now I'm really Membu is a beast. I mean, I saw the 22 on them, and that kid is something. I mean, he's a little clumsy looking and stuff, but wait till he gets his feet under him. This kid is going to be something, man. I mean, T.J. Watt, your
Yeah, that
first
was a
catch.
hell of a debut.
Yeah, and not only that, but I mean, they didn't do a lot of chipping, and the other thing is that they ran left a lot. But what he did was he secured a lot of that backside blocking, which actually freed up Brees for a lot of yards. Um, what I'd like to see him do next week is I'd like to see a little bit more horizontal work. Maybe get a couple of plays, Arian Smith going long, play action, that kind of thing, just to loosen up the underneath stuff. But they look good, man. The offense looked really good. The shocking thing for me was the secondary watching DK Metcalf be wide open. I mean, he could have had a wheelchair and wheeled into the end zone at one point. It looked like it was so wide open. It was ridiculous. Did someone slip on that play, I guess, or something? I don't know what that was.
Yeah, somebody was talking earlier. I hadn't seen the clip myself, but apparently Brandon Stevens had some kind of excuse about his cleats and why he kept slipping like that.
Yeah, he was slipping
Um,
like crazy.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I know
I don't.
personally, I've seen in games where where they changed their cleats during the game and put in
Yeah,
longer spikes,
sure,
if
sure.
he knew it was a problem, I don't know why they didn't do something about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to give up on him right away. I mean, they got a lot of money invested in him, but I don't see Glenn playing some because they paid him. I don't see him doing that. If you don't live up to the contract, he is like, I don't care, sit on the bench. He'll pull his Parcell card out on that one. I don't see him doing that. And as far as Adams, maybe it's ready time for the rookie to come in. You know, he looked pretty good, I thought, in training camp. What's your take on him? More?
Yeah, I mean, and even if you don't put him in full time, like, say they don't name him the starter, I think you at least need to put some packages in for him and start getting him on the field and seeing what he can do.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, I completely agree with that. That like those three clowns cost us that game, and
yeah.
there's no way to sugarcoat it. But I think Aaron Glenn sent a pretty strong message afterwards that that's just not going to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I put my foot in my mouth because before this game, I said, you know what, with Aaron Glenn as a coach, we might get beat, but you know what's not going to happen? We're not going to beat ourselves. And shit, you know what? We beat ourselves.
Yeah.
Thanks to Gibson and Stevens,
Oh,
it did happen.
yeah.
But I don't
Is
think
that
it'll continue to happen. And that's
no?
the thing, with Aaron
Yeah,
Glenn, you can make mistakes, but you're not going to keep making the same mistakes. So
yeah,
I expect a lot of that to get cleaned up. But
yeah.
I'm
I
real
think we're
positive
yeah.
after what we saw.
Yeah, me too. I think we're in a functional unit, a functional coaching staff. Finally, we've been abused for the last 5 years. We've had like battered wife syndrome or something. You know, we don't even know what to expect anymore. We finally got someone in here who's like stable and at least has got some brains in their head. That was the thing. I love seeing the game plan too. On the offensive side of the ball, I think that was really, really, really encouraging, as opposed to like I don't know, 2 yards running up the middle, cloud of dust, and throw it incomplete on third down. Whoops, time to go out of the game again. You know. So anyway,
Yeah, and it wasn't. Go ahead.
no, Buffalo's gonna be. I'm glad in a way they won that first game, because if they lost, I think they'd be a little more hungry to get this second win going. I'm not that we're going to catch them flat-footed. I know that, and they've really had problem with the run, so we're going to be running. So they're going to address that in practice this week, I'm sure. It's how we counterpunch is what I'm looking to see what goes on. I'm sure the defense is going to be shored up. I'm sure that's going to be addressed, looked at, and Glenn isn't going to be. I don't think he's going to be embarrassed twice in a row with his secondary, especially. That's his calling card. That's who he was coming in. I don't see that happening 2 weeks in a row, unless the talent's not there. We'll see. But Buffalo's going to be a challenge. Um, but as I said from the beginning of the season, I said I don't know how many wins we're going to get, but no one's going to want to play the Jets anymore. It's not going to be. We're not going to be the mat the doormat anymore. They're going to come in, they're going to come out, they're going to be brutal. You saw T.J. Watt; he was frustrated as hell. He was like, we're going to do some damage. We're on the right track. That's what I think.
I think so too, Hep. 100% agree, man. Like, I think there's a lot of things to be encouraged about. And like you said, at least they look prepared. Like, they came out ready to play. They came right out of the gate firing on all cylinders. And, it looked real good. And they didn't even start slacking off towards the end. They weren't going to take their foot off the Steelers'
No.
throat. Like, they were going to keep going. And unfortunately, like I said,
Yeah.
momentum in the NFL, it's a real thing. And the momentum shifted when Gibson dropped that punt and allowed
Yeah.
them to score again like that.
Mhm.
But like you, I don't think that'll continue to happen. And I think it'll get shored up. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this year and the way it unfolds.
Me too. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks, fellas.
All right, man. Have a good night, Hep. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you what, folks. I think there is a lot to be encouraged by in this game. And we've seen it before. I know that Buffalo, it's going to be a tall task. They're a damn good team. There's no denying that. However, they're not bulletproof. They can be beat just like anybody else. And if we could beat Buffalo with Zach Wilson at quarterback, we could beat Buffalo with Justin Fields at quarterback. Buffalo's not invincible. They are a good team. And, I was really shocked that Baltimore let them come back the way that they did. That was a surprising game. But you know what? Sometimes when a team has a really big come from behind emotional win like that, they tend to come out flat the next week. So it would be awful nice if that is the case and the Jets are able to take advantage of that. And I'm looking for a really good matchup. I'll tell you what, if our defensive line can play the way that they did in this last game and put pressure on Josh Allen, we've all seen it before. Like Josh Allen, when things aren't going well, when that team's not going in the right direction, his tendency is to play hero ball. And he'll try to do it all himself. We've seen it before. We've actually been able to take advantage of it before. Not always, obviously, but we have. And man, you know what? God bless Rick Kent. Let me see if I can highlight that comment because yes, I would like nothing more than to see our team take it to the Bills next week, man. Like I get so tired of hearing about how, they're just the greatest thing ever. And listen, Josh Allen is a hell of a player. When Josh Allen was coming out in the draft, I was like 100% a Josh Allen guy. That was the guy that I wanted. However, being that he's on the another team and another team in our division at that, yeah, I want to stick it to him so much. Like I would love to put the Bills away next week. So, and I think we can. I think our front four will put pressure on him. And you know what? When he starts trying to do it all himself, that's when mistakes can happen. That's when we can take advantage of him. Man, I cannot wait for that. What is my week 1 grade for AG? All things considered, yeah, I think the team as a whole, special teams was good. The defense played good with a few exceptions, as we've, gone over repeatedly on this show so far. And the offense was really good and efficient. There weren't a lot of horrendous mistakes from coaching. Uh, you can argue about going for the 1-2 point conversion, whether it was the right call or not. You can question using the timeouts. But all in all, I'm going to give this a B minus. It wasn't perfect. not even close. There were definitely some things that need cleaned up, but overall, it was a good performance, and I was very encouraged by what I saw. So I'm gonna give it a B minus for week one. And you know what? They clean up a couple of those communication issues. You know, do something with Stevens. Get him some new cleats. Get him some contact lenses. Get him something. Uh, get him in order, or put the young guy in. Put Azaria in. I'll tell you what. I have confidence in him. I watched every single snap of that kid's college career, and he's a baller. Now we ask a lot of these rookies to come in right away and take on big roles. It does take time to get adjusted to the speed of the NFL. It takes them a little while to learn the playbook, learn the system, and get acclimated, so to speak. But I think he's going to end up being a really good player for us for a long time. But yeah, Stevens needs to either get his act together or something, and if you can't put the young kid out there all the time, then at least put in some packages for him and rotate the two of them if Stevens can't hold his own. Because I'll tell you what, man, like what Stevens put on tape this past week, it was not good. And I guarantee you, when the Bills are preparing for us this week, they're going to look at that and they're going to say, okay, we just identified a weakness. And I can tell you right now, they're going to come after him all day long next week. I would guarantee you they are going to target Stevens and they're going to go after him time and time again. So whatever his issue was this week, hopefully he can get it cleaned up. Glenn says that he still has confidence in him and that, the problems were all correctable. So all I can say is Aaron Glenn, do not take too long to correct those problems because man, before you know it, we're gonna be midway into the season. Like, man, that's the thing. Time goes by so slow in the off season. It takes forever for the season to get here. And then, boy, once that kickoff of that first game happens, the games just fly by. The NFL year goes by so quickly. It seems like, hell, if it was up to me, there'd probably be 50 games a year. But no one would hold up for that. But uh, yeah, man, the year goes by awful quick, but I think there were a lot of positives. I think there was a lot to be encouraged about. And you know what? For once, I think we have the right leadership in the building that's got us headed in the right direction. And I think we've got the talent on this roster to really make some noise. So I'm all stoked. I'm still behind Aaron Glenn 100%. Like I said, wasn't perfect, but it was only our first game, and I think it's only going to get better from here.
But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this. Listen.
Yeah, that's what I do know. That's what I do know. We're the New York Jets, and we're built for this shit. And it was just so nice, man, it was so nice to see us come out like ready to play for a change. There were so many times during the Saleh regime that we came out and I'm thinking, didn't this guy say that they had a good week of practice? At times it looked like they didn't practice at all. They got out coached, out schemed on so many occasions, and man, it just got really old. And then once Saleh was gone and Ulbrich took over, I was thinking, oh, it can't get any worse. Oh yeah, it did. It got much worse. Those guys were just so out of their depth. And now we've got a real football guy at the helm. We've got a real football guy leading the charge. He's going to emphasize running the ball. He's going to emphasize stopping the run. He's going to preach blocking and tackling because, like he said, it's a tackling sport. It's a physical sport. A lot of things in this league may change, but you're always going to have to block. You're always going to have to tackle. And it seems so elementary. It seems so simple. Like, uh, but it's true. It's true. And like I said before, Salah might have been a student of the game, but AG, he played the game and he played at a very high level. He knows what it takes to be a winner and what it doesn't. So it's going to be interesting to see what changes are made. Um, I don't know if he's going to bench anybody right off the bat. If it was me, Gibson wouldn't see the field again. It's going to be curious to see if Glenn pulls the trigger on that or not. Uh, Let me tell you what, when he came out in that post-game press conference and said, guys are not going to turn the ball over, they're not going to cost us games, or they're not going to be at the field, that shit was directed at Gibson. No two ways about it. That was definitely intended for him. And if he doesn't get benched, I'm going to tell you all right here, right now, he's on his last chance. That at the very least, that was a warning shot. And if Xavier Gibson knows what's good for him, he'll pay attention. Because like I said, I think that he gets away with this shit because he's done it so much in the past and there were never consequences for his actions. Well, that old leadership is gone. And under this new regime, there are going to be consequences for your actions if you don't play well. And I think that's a lesson that he's going to end up learning the hard way. So that's, I'm not going to say that's something else to look forward to, but because, in order to say that, somebody has to have performed badly. But it's nice to see accountability for a change. It's nice to know that we have a coach that's not going to put up with that shit, that is going to pull guys, regardless of their name, regardless of how much they're getting paid. People are either going to perform or they're not going to be on the field. That's all there is to it. He said it. He was very clear about it. I believe Coach Glenn when he says something. I know that he means it. And so, like I said, at the very least, that was a warning shot. I do believe that Xavier Gibson is on his very last chance. If he was a cat, he'd be on his ninth life. That's all there is to it. So, that being said, man, like I don't think there's really much more that I can say about this Pittsburgh game. I mean, putting aside the Xavier Gibson, Brandon Stevens, performances. When you look at this game like a whole, can Justin Fields deliver the ball on time and be efficient passing? Yes, he was. Can we run the ball? Yes, we did. Can our pass rush get to the quarterback? Yeah, we sacked Rodgers 5 times. How's the O-line going to look with our second-year tackle and our rookie tackle? That the offensive line looked really good. Are we going to be able to run the ball effectively and pass protect effectively after losing AVT? The answer is yes, we are, because we did. For the most part, I saw everything that I wanted to see. What cost us that game was a couple of mistakes by a couple of guys in very key situations. And dude, that's situational football. Like, sometimes one play can decide the outcome of a game. And that Xavier Gibson play, it changed everything, man. It completely shifted the momentum of that game. And yeah, man, we just can't have that. And I said this early on, like, I think there's going to be things that are going to happen. It's a new coaching staff. It's a new scheme. We got new coordinators. Everybody's learning a new playbook. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some mistakes, but what I don't expect to see happen is they're not going to keep making the same mistakes over and over. You know what, Rick Kent? It's funny that you mentioned the green mic because when I first bought this thing, it was kind of changing colors constantly, and it took me a while to figure out how to get it green and keep it green. But hey, this is a Jets show. It's Jets green, and yeah. So I like my green mic. Oh, was that not you? Oh, I'm sorry. That was Rich, not Rick Kent. Sorry. I was doing my Brandon Stevens impression, trying to cover the comments, and the comments were just too quick for me, and I got beat. I got beat on that play. So uh, at any rate, I appreciate you, Rich, man. Thank you. Um, appreciate all you guys, man, taking out time from your day to listen to me rant and talk about this team. Uh, Dave, I became a Jets fan in 1998, and I actually have a video that's like a pre-recorded video that I did of my fan origin story that tells you exactly how I became a Jets fan and why I became a Jets fan. Um, if you haven't got a chance to watch that yet, I would highly encourage it. Not just because it's one of my videos, but because the story of how I became a Jets fan is quite a bit different than most people's. I wasn't from New York, you know. I didn't have like a dad or an uncle or anything that took me to a game, so it wasn't anything like that. Like a lot of people's story. I lived here in Tampa and at the time, and didn't really have my own NFL team that I followed. I liked the sport. I liked a lot of players from a lot of different teams, but didn't kind of have one to call my own. And started kind of gravitating towards Curtis Martin. And not only was he a good football player, but it was really just his character and the way he was when he spoke, being so honest and humble and just such a good guy. And then when, you know, but I fucking hated the Patriots. I didn't like the Patriots at all. But then when he left, and I liked Parcells too, and Parcells was already here, he brought Curtis Martin over and just kind of everything kind of fell into place. Like when Curtis became a Jet, I was like, okay, you know, I like this guy. I wanted to root for this guy, but I don't like New England. I don't like anything about New England. And so when he became a Jet, I decided, you know what? That's it. I'm going to be a Jets fan. And that was it, man. Like, so that was it. And shortly thereafter, I actually moved to New York. So uh, that was all in '98, and I was there until like late 2000. What was it? 2002. So about 4.5 years. But yeah, my story's a little bit different than most. But check that out if you get a chance. I think you'll find it entertaining. But at any rate, folks, that's pretty much it for today. I think I've gone over about as much. Oh, hold on. Oh, goodness gracious. You know what? I'm gonna have to do some thinking about that one and come back to you, Eli. There were, dude, Doug Bryan. Oh my God, that guy. I've had nightmares about him forever. Uh, that would the Doug Bryan missed kick is probably one of the ones that made me hate this team the most, even though I still love this team. That's got to be a real big one. Um, not even a game, but just the Adam Gase press conference, you know, watching this guy, you know, with his eyes bugging out of his head, like, you know, he was some coked out weirdo from the early 80s, and having to let it sink in that this moron is going to be our coach. That would probably be another one. The butt fumble's not as big a one for me as it is for some people, because even though people killed Sanchez for that, uh, Brendan Moore got pushed right back into his lap. And so I would put part of the blame on him for that as well. But that one's not as much up there. Like off the field, it would probably be the fact that we hired Adam Gase in the first place. On the field, I'll just go with the Doug Bryan kick, because that's a good one, and that's probably one of the first things that comes to my mind. But at any rate, yeah, I mean, you know, I can't reiterate enough times that we should have had this game won. We were clearly the better team. Unfortunately, the Three Stooges of Gibson, Stevens, and Adams cost us that game. And it's a crying shame, because we deserve better. As fans, we deserve better than that. However, I do think that a lot of that will get cleaned up. I'm expecting a much better performance this coming week. And with any luck, we can get our first win against the division opponent, and put the Bills in their place and help bring them back down, bring them back down to earth. Time to give them a nice reality check. But once again, thank you all for tuning in. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for me, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all on Saturday night. This coming Saturday at 8 p.m. I will be joined by Ryan from the Jets. We'll be giving you our preview of the Buffalo game, in particular, which matchups to watch, which position groups we're going to be keeping an eye on, and our predictions for the game. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be a good time. Ryan's a good guy, and looking forward to it. Until then, everybody have a great night, and go Jets.